Hey, how's it going, universe? Welcome to ZooBox. I'm Shaun, and today we're going to be checking out another edible. We're going to look at some more Delta 8 products. Today we're going to be looking at some Delta 8 gummies, some Delta 8 THC gummies from TruCannaBliss. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Well, there's no beans, but TruCannaBliss is a premier THC 0, THCP, Delta 8 THC, and CBD product and accessory dispensary located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that provides customers with holistic benefits. Their aim is to provide customers with informed and educated choices in understanding beneficial uses and therapeutic application of THC and CBD products. No matter your level of interest or experience, TruCannaBliss will have something for you. They have gummies, vapes, beverages, concentrates, flour, capsules, edibles, stuff for your pets, pre-rolls, topicals, tinctures and oils, and so much more. So anyways, so as you know, if you've been watching this channel or if you've watched any of these other reviews, I'll link some of the other reviews I've done, both for TruCannaBliss and other products, in the description and in the comments section, so go check there. I have been kind of messing around with Delta 8, THC 0, now HHC stuff for the past couple years. I suffer from kind of mild anxiety, mild depression, and sleeplessness. And so I started looking into this stuff as a way to kind of help me mitigate those issues. Without having to get on any like kind of hardcore pharmaceutical drugs or whatever. I just kind of wanted to try to take a somewhat more naturalistic approach. And so I started messing with this stuff, and I've been working with TruCannaBliss for the past few months. They've sent me some other things, so thank you to TruCannaBliss. But having said that, even though I got this swanky hoodie, and they sent me a tote bag, I don't even know if my mom's ever bought me a hoodie. I don't even know if she ever has. But you know who did? TruCannaBliss. But I don't want you to think that my opinion is tainted by that. They're completely understanding. They totally understand what the deal is. We review these products. We give our honest assessment of them. Now, having said that, let's get into this product. So, edibles, gummies, mostly. That's mostly what I do. I would say about 80% of the time I do a Delta 8 product. At least in the past couple of years, it would be gummies, gummy related. I have dipped into vapes recently, which we're going to talk about in the future here, so stay tuned. But usually I stick to gummies. It's just the thing that works best for me, and it oftentimes kind of produces the effect that I want out of this kind of experience, which is kind of a nice, heavy body high, kind of slow everything down a little bit, help me get a good night's sleep. That's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that solid night's sleep. So that is definitely a factor that we'll be talking about. So as with all TruCannaBliss stuff, I gotta say, this stuff works really well. It's very potent, and it comes in fast. It comes in about 45 minutes to an hour, which, if you do edibles, that's a pretty quick turnaround time. And they are, like I said, very potent. Like, you feel it immediately. No matter how many milligrams I take, no matter what dosage I do, I definitely feel it. I definitely feel it deep down inside my body. Get that nice body, that nice relaxed high. So with this stuff, I started doing it over the course of a few nights. I like to kind of try to get a full holistic experience with these products before I talk about them. So I did them over 3 nights, and I did 3 different doses. So we're just going to start with what my first dose was. My first dose was the 30 milligrams, which would be one of these gummy worms. So I started that first night. I kind of took it later in the evening, and I kind of did it on a whim. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's just take one. So I took one and kind of just settled in for the night. And like I said, I was kind of surprised by how fast it happened and how potent it was. I wasn't expecting that. A lot of times you take like 30 milligrams. I've been doing this long enough at this point where 30 milligrams is kind of, I can kind of walk around, I can function. It's a pretty average high. And it's usually pretty slow rolling with a lot of products. You'll find that the potency doesn't really start hitting you until, 90 minutes, 2 hours. And that depends also on what you're doing. That depends what your diet was that day. And also if you eat anything while high, while taking the gummies? Do you get the munchies? Have the munchie gods come down? Are they going to have mercy on you? Well, I'll tell you this. For this product, the answer is no. The munchie gods were in full effect, and just like anything, just like any of this kind of stuff, just like when you drink too much beer or whatever, as soon as you break that seal, my God, watch out. Watch out, pantry. I almost ripped the door off the hinges. I got to tell you, to get some potato chips or something. Yeah, I got the munchies, really, really hardcore munchies. But, you know, munchies is kind of a weird thing. It's like I really look forward to the munchies, and because it makes food so delicious. You know, your sensory overload, everything's firing and synapses firing and everything's just going great and grand, and before you know it, you have a fucking stomach ache because you ate so much food that you literally feel like you've just hit a wall going 50 miles an hour. It definitely has that effect, but the general high was actually pretty good as well. Not debilitating at 30 milligrams, but I definitely felt it. I felt kind of effervescent. I felt a little euphoric. I felt a little goofy. I really enjoy watching movies when I take Delta 8, which is perfect for me because that's, you know, movies are kind of also part of this channel. It's part of the hobby that I have, and it facilitates that really well. You really can zone in, really lock into a movie. So the first night, 30 milligrams. I would say that I was up for about 3.5 hours after taking it. So I felt that high for about 2 hours, and then I went to bed, probably slept for about 6 hours. 6 solid hours. And I woke up feeling pretty good. I felt pretty good. Because oftentimes with these kinds of products, Delta 8 especially, you can feel a sense of kind of being hung over sometimes the next day. It takes your body a little bit to recoup. And sometimes that's, you know, that can happen. And maybe it will happen later as we go on the dosage train here. But 30 milligrams as something you want to take just to help you kind of relax before you go to bed at night, works great. Works awesome. So, a few nights later, I dipped into the bag again. This time I did 60 milligrams. I took 2 gummies. And I was ready for it. I was prepared. I was mentally prepared. I was able to put myself in the right headspace, kind of get everything I needed done that night, all my chores, all my responsibilities taken care of, so I could just sit on the couch and kind of veg out for a few hours. So I went in with the intention of doing that. And I had a really good time. I definitely had that nice body high where your body just kind of gets heavy and you just kind of sink into the couch. You feel like full relaxation. Your inhibitions kind of melt away. And cause, you know, I've been really stressed out lately. A lot of stuff going on in my personal life that's actually kind of stressful. So to actually have that kind of solace that this brought me at the 60 milligram dose was awesome. And it was really kind of the rest and relaxation that I needed. And the only downside I would say, and I don't know if this is entirely the product's fault, so I want to kind of set up the scenario here. So I have a newborn baby at my house, and oftentimes you're not getting to sleep long stretches at any given time. So I ended up just kind of waking up because the baby woke up a few times during the night. So I didn't get solid sleep, which led me to the next day. I did feel a little bit hungover. I felt a little slower, a little less reactive. And I also even kind of felt a little high by the time I woke up. I still felt a little high-ish. I was a little sluggish. It took me a little extra time to get going. It took me another cup of coffee, maybe 2 or 3 cups of coffee this time, to get the motor going, to get started, to start the day, take care of the responsibilities. And but other than that, though, I gotta say, like, that was perfect for me. I think the 60 milligrams, that was kind of the perfect high for me, the perfect of what I want to get out of this stuff. You know, that perfect sense of relaxation. Like I said, inhibitions kind of melted away, and I just locked into what I was watching, and I, you know, had my laptop out, and I was just reading about stuff, having a grand old time, having a wonderful Saturday night. And yeah, and when you're like 35, going on 36, got like 2 kids, you're married, that's a fucking Saturday night, man. That's a hell of a Saturday night. So thank you. So thank you, TruCannaBliss. Yeah. All right. So the last time I did it, this is when I did the biggest dose. The biggest dose I've done. Because if you've watched previous videos, and I'll link it in the description, they sent me a brownie like a few months ago. A 500 milligram brownie. Or maybe it was more than that. Actually, it might have been 1,000 milligrams. A very potent brownie. I accidentally ate way too much. Way too much. Probably ended up doing about 300 milligrams of brownie. And I was high for about almost 24 hours. About 18 hours. I could feel it. I had the sensation of being high and like really high. Not just like a little bit high, but like really high. And they just kept rolling and just kept going. So they got, like if you're looking for strong stuff, they're the place to go. So when I did the 90, I was kind of prepared for that. Like I said, I had tried it the 30 milligrams, 60 milligrams. It's potent and you feel it. You feel it quick. And you feel it for real. There's no questioning it. There's no like, am I high yet? What's going on? No, like you feel it. So I went in, 90 milligrams, was obliterated. So fucking high. I was so high that at some point I just had to go to bed. I ate a bunch of food, of course. The Munchie gods, they show no mercy on me. They showed no mercy on me at 30, not at 60, not at 90. Okay? So be prepared for that. Don't open that door if you don't want to walk through it. That's what I'm saying. Don't open the pantry door. Keep it closed. Maybe get somebody, your significant other, your partner, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Have them put a padlock on that thing and keep you away. Just give you bottles of water. Just hook you up with water. Maybe some Ren and Stimpy. Some Beavis and Butthead. New Beavis and Butthead out there in the world. You can watch that. Good times. Good times had by all. But yeah, so I was so high. I was so high. That I couldn't really do anything. Like, at 30 and at 60, I still felt like I could function. I could kind of get up. I could walk around. At the 30 milligrams, I even did a little bit of writing. I just do like little movie reviews and stuff like that. So I was cognizant in that way. And this way, I felt like traditionally like blasted. Just blasted, stoned. I was not going to be accomplishing anything. And as it kind of rolled on, it got more intense and more intense as edibles are wont to do. And I felt like I kind of just had to go to bed. So I did. But I was still up. I was up for like a good 4 hours riding this experience. But I just definitely felt like I needed to go to bed. I was like, this has been great, but I got to go to bed. So then I ended up getting about 5 hours solid. I woke up the next day not feeling bad, but definitely having that sense of sluggishness and feeling like a little bit like hungover. I think though, like if you were able to get like a good amount of rest, or if you were to take this earlier in the day, like say you didn't have the things that I have to worry about and I have to wait until later at night. If you were able to do that and actually kind of ride the high out as while you were awake and then go to bed and maybe get like 7 hours of sleep, I think you would probably wake up fine. Like I said, that's why I kind of wanted to qualify it with my own particular experience, because I think it's going to be different for everybody. And, and at 30 milligrams, I didn't feel very much. And in terms of sluggishness or that sensation of being hungover, like I didn't really feel much of that at all. But that was ironically the night that I got the most amount of sleep. That's when I felt the most rested. So I would say like if I were to like use this as a sleep aid, what I would do is I would take one and like, an hour or two before I went to bed, feel a little high, and then go off to the dream world. Okay? Go off to wherever Fantasia, wherever the never ending story happens. That's where I would go. So I could dream about riding on Falcor, chasing bullies down the street and throwing them in trash cans. You know how it goes. You have dreams. We all have dreams. Come on now. We all have dreams. That's how I like to dream. I like to dream about getting righteous justice through fantastical creatures. That's what I like to do. So yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. I would recommend. Out of 10 stars, I'd say 10 stars. Like, it is as advertised, and it works really well. And one of the cool things, if you go to their website, if you head over to TruCannaBliss.shop and you look up the Delta 8 THC Gummy Worms, 30 milligrams per, okay? They actually have their certificates of analysis up where you can look where they did like tests for potency and effectiveness between Delta 8 and Delta 10. And they're completely transparent about that stuff, which is something that I really appreciate. That's something that I appreciate and look forward to in a company. Being transparent about their products shows that they have some confidence in what they're doing and what they're selling. And TruCannaBliss definitely has that. And, and they're a cool company. It's cool to support local companies. You can go support this local Milwaukee, Wisconsin company. You can do that. You can they have a physical store, or you can go to their website, TruCannaBliss.shop, and you can order some for yourself and they'll ship it out to you. And their shipping time is great. It's a pretty quick turnaround. Like, I live in South Carolina, they're in Milwaukee. Usually within, 4 or 5 business days, get your products packaged very well, very professionally, no damage. Everything looked great. Big shout out to Nazareth. Nazareth is awesome. Nazareth is a pleasure to work with. A very easy, very amicable person. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's really all I got. That's really what I got to say. That's my little review, my little spiel. I hope that it was informative for you. I hope that you got something out of it. And honestly, if you like, having done as much, like especially gummies, you could say I'm coming up on being an expert of doing gummies. I've done so many different kinds. I would say TruCannaBliss is definitely top of the heap in terms of like its effectiveness, how potent it is. Like, if you want to get high, listen to me. You want to get high. Get yourself some of these. Okay, get yourself some of these. You're gonna get high. You're gonna be stoned. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about TruCannaBliss and also more about Zoobox, check the links in the description. A bunch of stuff there. Remember to leave a like on the video, and also leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know, have you ever done any TruCannaBliss products? What are your experiences with them? What kind of gummies do you like? What do you prefer when it comes to edibles? What do you prefer when it comes to Delta 8 products in general, or Delta 10 or THC 0, any of that kind of stuff? Throw it in the description. So it'll give me some food for thought for future videos maybe to do. So if you enjoy this one, you want to see me talk more about it, that would be a way to do that. All right, everybody. Thank you. And I'll see you next time on Zoobox, which is this channel right here. Later. Not now. Later.